Welcome to Health 2660. Here we don't just talk about health, we tell the stories that heal. Now please listen to the story. The old house creaked and groaned, each sigh echoing the weariness that had settled deep into Mr. Walter's bones. At 72, he felt every year, every ache, every twinge magnified tenfold. Standing had become an ordeal, each attempt a battle against gravity and failing strength. His legs, once sturdy pillars, now trembled with the slightest exertion, betraying him at the most inopportune moments. Falls were becoming more frequent, each one a stark reminder of his declining vitality. He'd tried everything, or so he thought. A cabinet overflowing with vitamin bottles, vitamin D, B12, calcium, magnesium, testified to his desperate attempts to recapture the vigor of his youth. He'd spent a small fortune on miracle supplements advertised on late-night television, promising renewed energy and youthful resilience. He'd even succumbed to the allure of an expensive magnetic bracelet that claimed to realign his bioenergy fields. None of it worked. His muscle weakness, he'd resignedly concluded, was simply a normal part of aging. It was a depressing thought, but one that seemed inescapable. Each day was a slow, grinding descent into frailty. He remembered a time when he could hike for miles, when he'd effortlessly carry his grandchildren on his shoulders. Now, even a short walk to the mailbox felt like a marathon. His wife, Martha, worried constantly. She'd hover nervously whenever he stood, her eyes filled with a mixture of concern and helplessness. He hated being a burden, but he couldn't deny his limitations. One particularly bleak Tuesday morning, after a particularly nasty fall in the garden, Martha insisted he see a geriatric doctor. He resisted, at first convinced it was just another futile exercise in medical futility. But Martha's persistence, born of genuine love and concern, eventually wore him down. Dr. Emily Carter was not what Mr. Walter expected. She wasn't the stern, detached physician he'd encountered in the past. Instead, she greeted him with a warm smile and a genuine interest in his well-being. Her office, unlike the sterile, impersonal clinics he was accustomed to, felt more like a cozy living room, filled with comfortable chairs and soothing artwork. She listened patiently as he recounted his symptoms, his frustrations, and his growing sense of despair. She didn't interrupt, didn't dismiss his concerns, didn't offer empty platitudes. When he finally finished, she leaned forward, her eyes filled with empathy. "Mr. Walter," she said gently, "losing muscle after 60 is not inevitable. It's a common misconception, but it's not the truth." He stared at her, a flicker of hope igniting in his weary eyes. "What do you mean?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper. "I've tried everything." Dr. Carter smiled. "You've tried products, Mr. Walter, but you haven't addressed the underlying causes. With a few simple daily habits consistently applied, your body can rebuild muscle even at your age." She explained that after the age of 60, the body's natural ability to synthesize protein and maintain muscle mass begins to decline. This is often exacerbated by a sedentary lifestyle, poor diet, and inadequate sleep. But the good news, she emphasized, was that these factors were modifiable. She then introduced him to a recovery program built on 8 simple yet highly effective habits. Habits that she assured him could transform his life. The first habit was prioritizing protein in every meal. Protein, Dr. Carter explained, provides the essential amino acids needed to rebuild and maintain muscle tissue. After 60, your body becomes less efficient at absorbing protein, so your daily needs actually increase. She stressed the importance of including protein sources in every meal: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. She suggested eggs, fish chicken, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, soybeans, lentils, and nuts. Think of protein as the building blocks of your muscles, she said. You can't build a house without bricks, and you can't rebuild muscle without protein. She also emphasized the importance of distributing protein intake evenly throughout the day, rather than consuming most of it at dinner, as many older adults tend to do. Your body can only process so much protein at once, she explained. Spreading it out throughout the day ensures a steady supply of amino acids to your muscles. She recommended a daily intake of approximately 1.2–1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. For Mr. Walter, who weighed 75 kilograms, this meant aiming for roughly 90–112 grams of protein per day. It seemed like a daunting amount at first, but Dr. Carter assured him that it was achievable with a little planning and effort. The second habit was moving every hour, even for a few minutes. Prolonged sitting, Dr. Carter explained, deactivates muscle growth genes. Think of it as putting your muscles to sleep. Frequent light movement, on the other hand, keeps those muscle-building signals active all day long. She recommended standing up and walking around for 3–5 minutes every 45–60 minutes. Walk around the house, stretch your arms, rotate your shoulders, swing your legs. Go get a glass of water, she suggested. Anything to break up the sedentary routine. If standing was difficult, she suggested seated stretches or ankle rotations as helpful alternatives. The key was to keep the body moving, even in small ways. The third habit was staying proactively hydrated throughout the day. Muscles are 75–80% water, Dr. Carter explained. Even mild dehydration can cause cramps, soreness, and slow recovery. She recommended drinking 6–8 cups of water daily, 1.5–2 liters, and spreading the fluid intake evenly across the day. Don't wait until you feel thirsty, she cautioned. By then, you're already dehydrated. She suggested adding lemon slices, cucumber, or light broth to the water for variety. Staying hydrated is like lubricating your joints and nourishing your muscles from the inside out, she said. The fourth habit was prioritizing deep restorative sleep. Deep sleep, Dr. Carter explained, is when your body releases growth hormone, which is essential for repairing and rebuilding muscle fibers. She recommended aiming for 7–8 hours of sleep each night. She advised turning off phones and screens at least 1 hour before bedtime, keeping the bedroom cool, dark and quiet, and avoiding heavy meals or caffeine in the late afternoon and evening. Sleep is when your body does its repair work, she said. It's a crucial part of the muscle-building process. The fifth habit was focusing on controlled slow movements, also known as eccentric training. The lowering phase of movement, Dr. Carter explained, such as sitting down or lowering weights, activates more muscle fibers than the lifting phase. She suggested lowering himself slowly and with control when sitting down and counting slowly to 5 when lowering weights. She also recommended exercises such as squats, step-downs, wall push-ups, and slow stair descents. These exercises activate more muscle fibers while remaining safe for your joints, she assured him. The sixth habit was incorporating anti-inflammatory fats into his diet. Omega-3 fats, Dr. Carter explained, help reduce low-grade inflammation, which accelerates muscle loss and joint pain. She recommended eating fatty fish like salmon and mackerel 2–3 times per week, adding olive oil to salads and including walnuts and chia seeds in his diet. If fish wasn't suitable, she suggested taking a high-quality omega-3 supplement. Reducing inflammation is like calming down the fire that's damaging your muscles, she said. The seventh habit was using daily ice soaks for hands or feet. Short cold exposure. Dr. Carter explained stimulates microcirculation, reduces mild inflammation, and supports nerve and muscle recovery. She recommended filling a basin with cold water and ice starting with 1 to 3 minutes and gradually working up to 5 minutes. After soaking, she advised drying thoroughly and gently warming the area. She cautioned that this was not recommended for individuals with severe circulatory disorders. Ice soaks are like giving your muscles a refreshing shock that stimulates healing, she said. The eighth and final habit was practicing light resistance training daily. Resistance training, Dr. Carter explained, activates muscle-building genes, increases bone density, improves balance, and reduces fall risk. She recommended aiming for 15-20 minutes daily performing exercises such as sit-to-stand squats, wall push-ups, resistance bands, or light dumbbells. She advised starting with light weights and gradually increasing as strength improved. Dr. Carter showed Mr. Walter several modifications for each exercise tailored to his current level of strength and mobility. She emphasized the importance of proper form and gradual progression to avoid injury. She explained that after 12 weeks, muscle mass could increase by up to 44%. Mr. Walter left Dr. Carter's office feeling a sense of hope he hadn't felt in years. He knew it wouldn't be easy, but he was determined to give it his best shot. He started the very next day, meticulously following Dr. Carter's recommendations. He began by revamping his diet, incorporating protein into every meal. He replaced his sugary cereal with Greek yogurt and berries for breakfast, swapped his sandwich with a chicken salad for lunch, and added a serving of salmon to his dinner plate. He set a timer on his phone to remind him to move every hour. At first it felt awkward and disruptive, but he soon got used to it. He'd walk around the house, stretch his arms, rotate his shoulders, and swing his legs. He made a conscious effort to drink more water throughout the day, carrying a water bottle with him everywhere he went. He started winding down earlier in the evening, turning off the television and reading a book before bed. He focused on his breathing and practiced mindfulness to calm his mind. He made sure his bedroom was dark, quiet, and cool. He incorporated controlled slow movements into his daily routine, lowering himself slowly and with control when sitting down and climbing stairs. He started performing wall push-ups and sit-to-stand squats, modifying them as needed to accommodate his limitations. He began taking a daily omega-3 supplement and added walnuts and chia seeds to his breakfast. He also started doing daily ice soaks for his hands and feet, gradually increasing the duration as his tolerance improved. Slowly but surely, he began to notice a difference. His energy levels increased, his muscles felt less stiff, and his balance improved. He found himself moving with greater ease and confidence. The falls became less frequent, and he felt less anxious about moving around. After 3 months, the changes were undeniable. His walking felt noticeably steadier. He no longer experienced shaky legs when standing up. His knees moved more smoothly, and his calves felt stronger. He experienced less fatigue after physical activities. He could even walk to the grocery store and back without feeling completely exhausted. One sunny afternoon, while working in his garden, he realized something profound. He was kneeling down, weeding his flower beds, and he stood up without any pain or hesitation. It was a small victory, but it felt monumental. He straightened his back, took a deep breath, and smiled. He felt like he had regained the legs he had in his 40s. He couldn't believe how much his life had improved in such a short amount of time. He looked back at the vitamins and supplements gathering dust in his cabinet. He realized that he had been focusing on the wrong things. He had been trying to fix his body with external solutions when what he really needed was to provide it with the right conditions to heal itself from within. He remembered Dr. Carter's words. With a few simple daily habits, consistently applied, your body can rebuild muscle even at your age. He finally understood what she meant. I never thought I could recover like this at 72, he said to Martha one evening as they sat on the porch watching the sunset. But once I gave my body the right conditions, it knew exactly how to heal itself. Martha smiled and squeezed his hand. I'm so proud of you, Walter, she said. You've worked so hard, and it's paid off. Mr. Walter knew that the journey wasn't over. He still had a long way to go, but he was confident that he could continue to improve. He had discovered the power of simple daily habits, and he was committed to making them a part of his life for good. He had learned that aging wasn't about inevitable decline, but about adapting and nurturing his body to thrive at every stage of life. The old house no longer creaked and groaned quite so loudly. It seemed to share in Mr. Walter's newfound vitality a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the power of simple, consistent habits. The garden flourished, reflecting the vibrant health and renewed energy that had blossomed within Mr. Walter, a living testament to the fact that even in the twilight years, life could be full active and joyful. He continued to garden walk and spend time with his grandchildren, cherishing every moment and appreciating the simple joys of life. He was grateful for the wisdom of Dr. Carter, the unwavering support of Martha, and the incredible resilience of his own body. He had faced the challenges of aging head-on, and he had emerged victorious. He had proven that age is just a number and that with the right mindset and the right habits, anything is possible. Health 2660. Thanks you for listening. We'll see you in the next video, and until then, be kind to yourself.